Alright, yo. Drop episode 6. We're going to get straight to it. One of the biggest things that happened recently was my guy, Rob Reiner, sadly passed away. R.I.P. He was a victim of his son's circumstances. He was a ill child. I don't know exactly what caused him to snap on this particular day, but whatever it was, he tragically killed his parents with a knife. And, you know, everybody knows the story. But reason why I want to start off with this particular story is because it leads into the rest of the segment on how Trump is not going to surprise you. And anybody that is surprised is lying to themselves, right? The level of inhumane, harsh, cruel, all the things that he's been doing that's wild. There's a lot of people that seems to be shocked to a certain degree and acting as if they didn't already know who he is, right? And so all of these things that we're going to cover today are touching on that point, just his character, I guess you could say, the type of human being he is, right? You know what I mean? So everybody know, if you didn't know what he said, rather, excuse me, this is what was actually said. So like I said, the dude got killed, R.I.P. And Jimmy, this first minute, Jimmy's talking about how in times like this is we need to come together, or not come together, we need a leader that's going to display certain qualities, you know, kindness, compassion, warmth, whatever, or just don't say nothing at all. That's it. It's not really a complicated scenario here, you feel me? But instead of doing all that, this is what Trump does, right?
Brief moment of condolence followed by a things happened for the students at Brown. And for Rob and Michelle Reiner, we got this post. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction
known as Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah, see, I had to stop it right there, obviously, because the big reason they started booing is how disgusting is that, bruh? Like, again, the man obviously wasn't a fan of yours. He was critical of you and your presidency, whatever. But to say that he died because he pissed somebody off talking shit about you, like, really? And this, the whole post is just basically a big shouldn't have been talking shit. You know what I mean? So what he, like, but again, and I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny, but the idea that again, like I said, I didn't expect Trump to get up there and all of a sudden adopt certain qualities because it's the right thing to do. Like, that's what, but in theory, if you are the president, you shouldn't be talking like this. You shouldn't be saying, well, yeah, he died, but he hated me, so who cares? Like, come on, bro. The dude is the epitome of self-centered, like, egotistical, conceited, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But that's crazy to say that he made somebody mad coming at you and they killed him. And so who cares? Is, bro, that's crazy. Let me just let him finish reading the rest of the post.
With a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness.
We just keep on winning. The Trump administration just keep on succeeding, and he was mad about it. And he pissed off the wrong person by coming at my greatness. That's all the dude. That is crazy, bro. To suggest that the dude's sick son, again, like I said, dude's son is just not well in the head. I don't know if it was I think it was drugs involved, but it was drugs and mental illness, whatever. And they said, oh, well, again, like I said, just a big shouldn't have been talking shit. Like, bro, that's crazy.
And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, may Rob and Michelle rest in peace. Just when you think he can't go any lower, he somehow finds a way to do that. His description of what happened, of course, is not at all what happened. And this is exactly what I've spoken about before, this rush to pin the tail on the donkey in pursuit of the Trump-friendly narrative, not to mention blaming his death on the fact that he is an outspoken liberal, insulting someone who's just been murdered, who leaves children behind without having any idea of what actually happened. It's so hateful and vile. When I first saw it, I thought it was fake. My wife showed it to me this morning. I was like, well, lad.
No, it was real. And yeah, I zoned out there for a quick second thinking about something else. But I'm glad I did let that play just to he lets you see the point I'm leading into this whole episode. The hateful, the vile, the you can't believe that he can just, all of that stuff that Jimmy just said is, you know what I mean? So now that's just the beginning though. We just getting started, bro. It's gonna get so good because, bro, some of the stuff I got in here is just hilarious. Like this next one, again, kind of crazy, but still funny. Okay, so Trump is doing a lot of deals in the Middle East and with countries that previously we looked at as the bad guys, right? He's now buddy, chummy with this Saudi prince, right? And this isn't just an ordinary prince, right? He okayed a execution of a certain news interviewer, journalist. That's the word I was looking for. And not just any type of execute. Just, y'all already know. Just watch.
President Trump welcoming Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman back to the White House tonight. A dinner in his honor will begin shortly. Trump giving the royal treatment to the Crown Prince throughout the day. Mounted horses escorting the Crown Prince to White House grounds. F-35 fighter jets, the same jets Trump says he is selling to Saudi Arabia, flew overhead. Trump even showing MBS his many White House renovations, the Presidential Walk of Fame, the one he was showing. And during a meeting in the Oval Office, Trump dismissed any concern over why he is extending such a welcome of MBS to Washington. This is MBS's first visit, important to say, since the brutal murder of Jamal Khashoggi, right, who was chopped up with a bone saw. Saudi journalist and American legal residence. He was dismembered in 2018. Dismembered, chopped up with a bone saw in a Saudi consulate in Turkey. A murder that the CIA assessed that the Crown Prince likely approved in advance.
Okay, now, bruh, again, I need to make sure y'all understand and hear what the fuck was just said, bro. The man was chopped up by a bone saw, and the CIA said the Saudi leader greenlit it. This dude that now Trump wants to be friends with greenlit it, right? Like, so, okay, and knew about it in advance. Okay, bro. And this is also to revisit that point of there are certain places in this world that are still like that. Like, a lot of people don't like to believe that these other governments are still kind of third worldish or whatever. No, it's still not safe in a lot of places. Over there in the Saudis, yeah, you will still get chopped up for asking the wrong questions. If you're a journalist and they don't like the questions you asking, you will get disappeared. That ain't no joke. Like, so that, bro, but what, like you said, she said the man got killed like that. The CIA knew about it, and this is Trump sitting next to him and addressing those concerns. Like she said, Trump is putting to bed any concerns people have of why you're doing business with this man when he's killing people with bone saws. He's green lighting these type of executions. This is Trump's response to us feeling some type of way about him doing deals like that with people like this.
Trump denying any wrongdoing on MBS's behalf, though, saying today that, quote, things happen.
You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen, but he knew nothing about it.
Again, the CIA says that MBS not only knew about Khashoggi's murder, but likely approved it in advance.
Yeah, like, bruh, like, what the, again, like I said, we knowing all this, he will still sit there and say, he ain't know nothing about it. He ain't do it. Things that it is what it is, bro. Again, like I said, it. And another point that I wanted to make at the beginning of this episode is, it's only been 1 year. We got 3 more of these Johns. Like that, bro. It's early. He's bro. It is early. And now we get into the, oh my goodness gracious, dog. You have no idea how funny what I'm about to show y'all is. Everybody heard the order. Everybody knows the demands, what's required, what the law is, right? They all, bro, made it very clear as crystal could be. Y'all got till Friday, end of business Friday, to get all the Epstein files out unredacted, no exceptions, or you're going to jail. You're getting prosecuted by the fullest extent of the law. I don't know how much more simple and straightforward I can make it. We're not playing with y'all. Anybody obstructing justice with this information not being revealed will go to jail. Will be in prison. That's it. They said, okay, we got y'all. We got y'all. Everything unredacted. No exceptions, right? Okay, cool. These motherfuckers actually had the nerve to put this shit out.
Epstein files released. Now, I had a little hesitancy on that word because it's only part. The DOJ releasing a mass dump of heavily redacted documents tonight. And I want to just emphasize that point. By heavily redacted, I mean a lot of pages
Bro,
that look
bro,
like this and this
that,
and this and this.
hold on.
And this.
Hold
and
on.
that's all I was going to
do to the printer.
To make the point.
Bro, that is the funtiest shit. Listen. I don't know why this in particular, out of all the shits that Trump and his Department of Justice and administration have been doing, is the funniest, but this one is funny to me for some, I don't know, to actually put out, just nigga, y'all would have been better off just saying suck my dick. Like, instead of doing all this, but what was the we gonna put out everything that we got y'all, and then y'all put this shit, y'all literally just put out blank pages. Like, come on, dog. That shit, bro, that shit is very funny to me. That shit is full pages just blacked out. Like, that's all y'all get. Like, bro, again, y'all would have just been better off saying no. Like, what was the year to be? And all this was to really just buy time, I'll be honest, but still, like, that shit is hilarious. And then they go on to say that a couple days after the deadline, now there's all of a sudden 1 million more Epstein files that weren't, that are just now being discovered, quote unquote. Like I said, that's a whole nother thing. I'm gonna do a whole episode probably just breaking down I'll actually go to the Department of Justice's webpage, pull up the files that they did release and sift through them my goddamn self. See how, you know what I mean? See how many there are that don't look like that and what we can, you know what I mean? But that's hilarious though. To give them a clear ass deadline, no exceptions, making it as crystal clear that y'all better not do exactly what the fuck y'all just did. That, bro, like I said, there's way more. That's Trump for you, basically. Like, he ain't, bro. but the reason why that was as heavily redacted as it was, right? Stay with me now, is because of things like this here. One of the documents, well, let's just go ahead and let it play.
The Justice Department has now released a big new batch of documents in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. And these include new details about Epstein's one-time friendship with President Trump. Look, there is a lot to go through. We said it's like more than 10,000 pages. So we are digging through this, but this is what is seen so far. In a 2020 email, an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York wrote that Trump traveled on Epstein's private jet, quote, more times than previously has been reported. At least 8 times between 1993 and 96. And on a flight in 1993, according to the email, there was just 3 passengers, Trump, Epstein, and what's described as a 20-year-old woman. Being mentioned in a trove of investigatory documents does not demonstrate criminal wrongdoing, a reminder, and Trump has not been accused of being involved in Epstein's crimes. On Monday, the president did seem dismayed that the release of any and all of these files, though, could harm the reputations of individuals he said, quote, innocently met Epstein. Now, remember, he is the man they also signed into law last month, a measure requiring the Justice Department to do just this, release the...
Yeah, okay, so what I wanted to point out about that, him being on the plane with the little girl, obviously, like I said, that's crazy. Just you, Jeff, and a 20-year-old on a plane together, right? What are y'all doing? Where y'all going? But this was, I believe, they said in 1993 this was, right? Trump would have been in his 50s, late 40s, early 50s, because I think he's 80 right now. So 93, that was coming up on 30, that was about 30 years ago. So he'd been in his 50s. Again, what are you, a 50-year-old man, and another 40, 50-year-old man doing on a plane with a 20-year-old girl? Like I said, there's just a lot of stuff that looks crazy that you know what I mean? Even if it isn't directly implicatory of him in a criminal fashion, it still just looks crazy, like I said. But if you ask me, the fact of 10,000 files she just said that there are. sifting through all of them, again, that's a task, right? That's why I said if I go, I'm just literally, I'm not about to sit here and act like I'm Columbo or Sherlock Holmes and go through all, you know what I mean? I'm gonna see if there's anything specific I can pull up to show y'all that's interesting, etc. But I'll leave that to the news people and the internet Johns that, you know. But my whole thing is the possibility of him being in there in an obligatory fashion, right? For there to be that many documents, it's hard to say he's, again, for what we know Jeff to have done, and we know for them to be as close as they were, for there to be as many documents as there are, it's hard to believe that out of all 10,000 documents, every one of them that mentions Trump, he's just behaving himself, right? But also, y'all wouldn't be obviously redacting as much as y'all are. The fact that there's that many documents, 1, 2, there's that many redactions, and 3, y'all are talking about there's millions or more. Again, it's hard to believe that if we did go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, or if you scanned everything and uploaded it to AI as a PDF, that AI wouldn't find any negative or criminal activities. Again, I don't believe in all of those documents that Trump is behaving himself in all the ones that he's mentioned. I don't believe that. It's just hard. Like, and again, specifically just because there are that many files, y'all are going through the incredible lengths that y'all are going through to hide it and not release them. And yeah, for what we know, that, like I said, Jeff already did. And another thing that I really wanted to point out about this situation in particular is I personally don't believe that there's anybody on this planet that Trump cares about protecting more than himself. And now, there was literally just a video. I might, slight detour. Yeah, Trump, Michigan. There we go. Trump was just at a Ford plant in Michigan, right? Dude, one of the workers calls him a pedophile protector. He says, fuck you. And then gives him the middle finger, right? I'm sure y'all probably all seen this. I'll play it one more time real quick. Now, reason why I play that is because I don't think there's anybody other than himself that he would put himself in that position for. To have people have the ability to scream pedophile protector at you, you would only do that if you were protecting your goddamn self. I don't think there's other people that you would protect, other people that you care about enough to protect and put you in that position. You see what I'm saying? The easiest way to get rid of that is to release the files, but then you're going to be implicating yourself in some way, and you can't do that. But if he was just innocent and he was really only doing this to cover for somebody else, again, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for that reason. I don't think there's anybody else he cares about that much to put himself in that position, to have other people have the ability to call you a pedophile protector. You only care about yourself that much. There's nobody else that you care about enough to do that for. And then one more example, one more thing. I ain't want to keep, because I'm glad I'm kind of, 18. Yeah, I'm kind of happy I'm chopping these episodes. I used to be here all night. We're gonna extend them a little bit more, but this is, like I said, it is kind of cold out here. I'm on the front porch. It looked nice as a mug, but I'm kind of hungry as well. But then, yeah, like I said, there's not much needs to talk about. I'll keep y'all here all day. Last episode was like an hour and some change. That was crazy. But oh yeah, that's what I want to do. Gemini real quick. Okay, so Pete, as y'all know, very recently the government was shut down. Crazy people lost their jobs, losing food stamps, all that. The Republicans was talking about the Democrats just want to hand over millions of dollars of healthcare to illegal aliens, and no, it was the Obamacare. So I'm not gonna go through time relitigating that whole situation. I just wanted to let y'all know the result and the aftermath of what to expect. Right, it was literally about the Obamacare. If y'all don't know how that works, just real quick. If you show up to the hospital with no insurance but you're dying, the hospital has to take care of you. The money that went into taking care of you, the manpower, the medicine, the bandage, all that cost, the government reimburses the hospital for that. That's Obamacare. That was what Obamacare was, right? And the Republicans, in defense, I'm just gonna say it, of the rich people, because they are the only ones that don't like that. The poor people obviously love it. The rich people don't like that. So in defense of the rich people, we say, yeah, we cutting that off. That's dead, right? That's dead. The Democrats said, no, y'all can't do that. And so that's why the government went into the shutdown for as long as it did. But the Democrats, obviously seeing that they weren't going to win, and the Republicans not caring how many people are affected, the Democrats went ahead and folded, and then the subsidies ended. So now I just want y'all to see what the result of that is going to be if you happen to be one of these poor people that would have benefited from, obviously, if you show up to the hospital dying and you get taken care of, how that might negatively affect you if these subsidies go away, right? What's the result of, oh damn, I'm sorry, of the ACA subsidies ending? The expiration of the Enhanced Affordable Cares Act subsidies on January 1st, 2026 has led to immediate and significant changes for millions of Americans. These subsidies originally introduced by the American Rescue Plan 2021 and extended by the Inflation Reduction Act, lowered monthly premiums and expanded eligibility to millions to middle income earners. With their expiration, the primary result include a sharp decrease in out-of-pocket costs, a sharp increase in out-of-pocket costs, a decline in national enrollment, and the return of the subsidies cliff. So that's the biggest one, the premium hikes. For most people who kept their plans in 2026, the cost of staying covered has increased drastically, doubling. The average is doubling. I was seeing a payment increase more than double. Net premiums have jumped by an average of 114%, bruh, rising from roughly $800 annually to over $200 or $1,900. So damn near $2,000 is what I was gonna say, bro. That is again. It is so expensive to stay alive, bruh. It's so expensive to stay alive now. Incumbent those earning under 150% of the federal poverty level, who previously had $0 premium, 0 plan, are now required to pay a portion of their income, around 2%, for the same coverage, or switch to lower tier bronze plans with much higher deductibles. And I think that's just going on. Middle income earners earning more than 400% of the day have lost eligibility of tax credits earning. So they lost the eligibility completely. If you earn more than 400% of the thing, about $60,000 for an individual, you ain't covered at all. Older adults, and it's just giving you a breakdown of everybody who is affected, and everybody's paying more. That's the one I was gonna say, the uninsured projections. So people who just completely are about to just lose their coverage entirely. Experts project that between 3.8 million and 4.8 million people will eventually become uninsured because they can no longer afford their monthly bills. That's the problem. People are facing the situation of whether or not to have health care or have food. That's why I wanted to talk about that, because it's getting crazy now. It's like, and again, we got 3 more of these Johns. Like, it ain't, bruh. It's about to get so dark. But that's all I really have for the serious stuff. Just real quick, something on a lighter note. That's so I can end off on Jake and Josh. My guy Paul, bro. I think that shit is just so funny, because it's like, yeah, if you're going to get into the tough guy business, as you clearly made it, you wanted to, this was the way to do it from the rip, to maintain any type of integrity. Like, again, the whole idea, motherfucker say it multiple times, but I'm gonna just go ahead one more. The idea behind fighting all of the retired MMA guys and a 60-year-old Tyson was he was trying to close the skill gap. Like, he knew if he fought, not even if he knew, he did. Like, everybody wanted to sit here and say that this was going to be the fight to determine if his fights are rigged or not. He already did that, bro. He lost to Tommy Fury. Everybody, and again, magically, that footage just seems like it got buried. You can't find that full fight nowhere. I'm gonna have to look for it. But he already went up against a real boxer who was on his level and he lost. And not even really on his level, because Tommy was above him as far as experience goes. Like I said, he came from that. But the whole point of coming from a guy whose traditional discipline is boxing is what I'm saying. He was always dodging that because he knew the skill gap would be too wide, right? And even with Gervonta, him taking Tank first, trying to use his size to do that. Yeah, Tank has, you know what I mean? But he's way smaller, so, you know what I mean? Again, that's not honorable, bro. That's not. Either go through the proper channels like he started to do, fighting them two nobody dudes, but they were boxers. He knocked them out. I've always said this about this dude. He is above average prospect, but he's not on that level yet to where he could fight the type of dudes that he be thinking he wants to fight. Like, he's not nearly even close to a championship level boxer. It's not even like, you know, and he knows that, but he don't want to put in time and work it takes to get there the right way. He would have had to run through multiple more of those two guys that he ran through. He didn't want to do all that. He just want to go straight to the, you know what I mean? And if you gonna try to do that, I mean, bro, do it the right way. Go beat up Anthony Joshua, which obviously we knew was never gonna happen. This fight literally happened exactly how it was supposed to happen. Both of the times that Jake has fought boxers, it goes exactly how you expect it to go. Like, there was nothing. See, even the Fury, Tyson, and Joshua, all three of these times he fought people whose real discipline is boxing, went where he was gonna go. And even the two people who were amateurs, again, he knocked them out because he's better than them. He's a top tier amateur. That's what Jake is. He's a top tier amateur. He's not he's not at the caliber where he you know what I mean, should be talking about he wants to fucking fight Canelo and fight niggas that, come on, bro, stop playing with me. Like I said, again, it's but as far as, like I said, even doing it or whatever, and I give him salute and respect for that. But that's, yeah, like I said, it's, and it also, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about him, because I said this before, I never heard anybody else say this specifically, but Jake is a dude that can fight. He's not a fighter. It's not in him. And I even stand on that a little bit harder because the way he was reacting in there to Anthony Joshua, and him even having the plan, which it probably wasn't the plan, obviously, but once you get in there and you in front of that monster, you realize there's only so much you could do, right? But no, I think once he got in there, he realized that, you know what I mean, and then his natural instinct started to kick in. A fighter, it don't matter what the obstacle is, it ain't no running, it's going through, it's blah blah blah. You could see him reacting in there in ways that let you know he's fucking scared. Like, that's you. And real fighters ain't gonna do that. That's it. It don't matter how big this nigga is, how much of a skill gap it is. I'm not running. I'm in here. We working. It is what it is. Yeah. But still, salute to that man. He ain't gonna be back for a while. Judge, again, even if a doctor clears this nigga, I don't think he's gonna get back in there. Bro, like I said, you get your shit cracked in two places. Bro. Again, I don't really see him doing that. I don't think he's that. He could prove me wrong on the fighter thing if he does get back in there. If he gets back in there, if he don't just retire, I might take back what I just said and then might go ahead and call him a real fighter. I might. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a real one, but I don't see it happening. And again, like I said, him even doing it, there's no real goal. There's no real achievement. Like, you trying to prove you tough for what? You already rich, bro. Just go enjoy your life. Have a kid, start a family, whatever. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. I felt like there was one more thing I was gonna say about that, but I'm drawing a blank right now, so I'm just leave it at that. But this was a good episode. This was a good, you know what I mean. And episode 6. Stay tuned for episode 7, and some other things that we got dropping on the channel coming real soon. Yeah, salute. That's what I was gonna say.